Hello, my friend. How are your beautiful AI images doing? In today's episode, we are going to talk about the basic ways to manipulate your AI image after it has been created. So first up is upscaling your photos, enlarging your image and increasing the size and resolution. A good rule of thumb to go by is when you see 4 images that are not really what you want, there is a chance that the problem will be fixed by upscaling it. So you can upscale all 4 photos by clicking on the U1, U2, U3, and U4 button. And the final output may be more of what you had in mind when you inputted the prompt. The second is variations, creating variations of an image that you like but with minor changes added. This is a good choice to use if the image is almost there, really close, but there is one little thing wrong with it. Maybe you don't like the potted plant in front of the painting, or you don't like the positioning of the sun, or you don't like the shape of the wave. With variations, you can ask AI to make minor changes to the photo while keeping the overall look and style intact. Then we have the redo button. It's there for if AI completely drops the ball and none of the 4 images that it created is right or even close. This could be if your prompt is wrong, but other times it may be because of poor random generation. Then you just hit this redo button to generate the 4 images again. And don't be afraid to redo many times to get what you want. So let's take a closer look at these images and the prompt that was used to create it. We have an oil painting, which is what I was trying to make. The topic, a stunningly beautiful sunset. The background, waves crashing on the beach and sand. Style, in the style of Rembrandt. Descriptors, rough brush strokes, abstract. And the parameters, which are advanced variables that we will talk about in another episode. Following this prompt structure, we can easily change these images from an oil painting to a photo. So another prompt can be a perfect photo of the topic, a stunningly beautiful sunset, the background, waves crashing on the beach and sand, style, in the style of natural photography, descriptors, 8K, portrait photography. So when we did that, we get photos of the sunset and beach waves. And we can keep on doing this. Another prompt can be an anime comic image of a stunningly beautiful sunset, waves crashing on the beach and sand in the style of cartoon art, anime, Pixar. And we had the same sunset and beach waves, just a completely different style. Isn't that cool? We can continue experimenting. So instead of a perfect photo of this sunset beach, we can change the prompt to a photorealistic image of a stunningly beautiful sunset and blah, blah, blah. And notice one of them did come out right. Although the painting of the sunset wave in front of an actual sunset wave is cool and surreal and a little funny at the same time. What do you think? AI is random sometimes and created this photography canvas on top of a bed, which isn't bad either. Hopefully inspiring you to create other image ideas. To show you how random AI can be sometimes, instead of an oil painting, instead of a perfect photo, instead of a photorealistic image, how about just a regular image of the sunset wave? What would AI come up with? It came up with the sunset wave in a TV. We can also change the parameters at the end of the prompt, changing the aspect ratio, for example. And notice that now all 4 images will be in portrait photography size. Then you can also do widescreen, and all the 4 images will be reshaped to the size of a movie, perfectly formatted to fit into that weird TV that we just saw. Then we can do a surreal painting. Here's the prompt. In the style of surrealism, focus on texture and form. Oil paint on canvas with thick brush strokes and expressive mark making to build up layers of color and texture. Color palette achieved through scrambling techniques. And we get this. Amazing, right? Especially this bottom right image, making it look like the artist put a heavy amount of oil paint on there just to get that look that you wanted. Don't forget to experiment with upscaling. What is upscaling again? It is blowing up the image to increase its size and resolution. So let's upscale one of our oil paintings we made earlier. And wow, just look at that. Look at how much better it is from the original when we blew it up. And this one too. It really brings out the color and the oil painting style from the original image, right? Here's an upscale of an anime image we did earlier. Looks like it belongs in an epic comic. Here is an upscale of the photorealistic image. Notice how the upscaling really brought out the details in the waves and the texture. You can almost taste the salty water, can't you? Here's another upscale of a photorealistic image. You can see that AI really tried to have a depth of field, where parts of it is blurry, helping your eyes to focus on the places where it is sharp, the actual wave. Now, this is one of my favorite paintings. Do you remember how we created a surreal painting with the heavy oils? Well, when you upscale that, you'll get this. Don't you just love the texture? It looks so 3D, as if the artist spent a ton of time piling on paint after paint to give it a rough and almost touchable brush strokes look. And this was all done in seconds with AI. Now let's talk a little about other adjustments you can do to an upscaled image. Here's an example of an upscale image of a man receiving strength from heaven with a large eagle in the background. Notice we have further upscale options, such as upscale subtle, upscale creative, very subtle, very strong, very region, zoom out 2x, zoom out 1.5x, and so on. And remember, these options will change from time to time, depending on how fast Midjourney updates. Subtle is slight changes. Creative and strong are minor changes. Like if you ask for strong variations, notice how the eagle and the man's poses changes, but the overall image is pretty much the same. And if you upscale the image subtly, you can barely notice the changes. But if you upscale the image creatively, the sparks that you see coming from the man are smoother and finer. Notice that? Making fine variations is particularly useful if you are creating images for a book, where each image may be a little different to show development of the story or dynamic motion. Well, there is no real way to predict exactly what will be changed, so my recommendation is to upscale all the images that you really like and review over them and keep on refining it until you see something that matches what you are looking for.